Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with Mike Carroll and Bill Englehardt,
And
No,
And
that I'm just here. I'm just here. Just say hi.
and Becky's here. Becky
Becky,
may want to see this week's pictures.
well, she's
Yeah,
going to
Our
help.
class.
She's going to help.
David just told him, now none of us do Facebook. I don't do it because I have absolutely no idea how to do it. Plus, if I did know how to do it, I would not want to do it. I don't want to.
What happens if we can't remember the name of our?
I know.
Well,
classmate.
I was worried I don't want to see anything bad. I mean, I know people say bad things about me. I just don't want to see it. Somebody says, no, they'll just defriend you. I said, well, then there's nothing on Facebook for me.
We're just,
There's
I
nothing.
told you, David, we had a compliment the other day. I told you I went to
Well,
vote early and
Were you standing at the courthouse steps waiting? Tell them about your compliment.
You got
well,
a
we
compliment?
Bill gets a compliment about our show. I've never heard one word in 7 years.
I got a compliment the other day and really appreciated it. Two fellows at the courthouse told me how much they enjoyed the program. And the one told me that it had helped him through his recovery from surgery for 6 weeks. He got all caught up, he
Oh my
thought, on
gosh.
all of the
I was
ones.
going to say, those guys at the courthouse. You're talking about the guys up front
Right.
Oh yeah.
who have most of the day nothing to do,
Yes.
and people walk in, they run them through the X-ray machine and help them. Tell them. You go upstairs for that office. What I mean. There's times they get busy and they're important to be
Hey,
there and
they
have that
kept,
security. But there are a lot of times where they're just waiting on someone to come in.
David, they kept me alive for 7 years.
That's
Their
true.
job is to save your quarterback, protect your
Mhm.
quarterback.
Yeah. I'm not trying to run them down. That's
Well,
for sure.
one of the guys used to be the janitor.
Yeah, he
Bill
was the custodian.
Steve Reardon was in Andrea's class, I think.
Yes, he was. And he was
67.
there for years and did a nice job
Yeah,
at the
class of
courthouse.
67. Nice
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
No, they're all nice.
But,
Yeah,
but
they're
he's
all really nice
retired.
guys.
Yeah,
Huh?
he's retired with nothing to do. I guess you get right down to it. If you've seen all the movies on Netflix, I guess you can go to our podcast.
Yeah.
If you're
You know,
desperate.
all these guys are
Yes.
good guys if they like us, and they say it.
Well, David, here's something. I've never seen our podcast.
You haven't?
No, I think this is enough, don't you?
You can get it
He
on
always
YouTube.
asks me after we finished, we're getting in the
Well,
car. He
Mark
always,
Petty does.
Mark Petty
Mark Petty
calls,
calls and said, "How did the podcast go?"
and I
And
get
I
it.
always say, "I have no idea." And Bill says, "Fantastic, one of the best." And that tells you something about the optimism of an old high school principal and a teacher. Teachers are always, they see the good side of everything. And it tells you something about how cynical and dried out and about ready to drop in the grave the lawyers are.
Let's see one of these pictures. I'm kind of excited now that you told me.
Let's fly.
Oh, happy Halloween.
Oh, that's great. One of my favorite things to watch on TV is that haunted mansion.
So lame.
You have Dish. You have Dish.
I know, but I've seen that. That's on another
It
station.
just shows an old haunted
Mediacom.
mansion. That looks just like the haunted mansion. Hey, today is Halloween.
Uh-huh.
Today is, yes, it's 31st.
Yeah, that is a nice.
Pretty scary. Well, I thought since this is Halloween, we should have at least.
Bill, Bill and I got dressed up as a couple old guys that do a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really old
We're
guys.
doing a pretty good job today.
I dyed my beard white.
Very
I
realistic.
figure I'm scary enough.
Yeah. Well, that cigar,
That'll do it.
that'll do it. If you get a chance, show us a picture of that ash you showed me, the 3-inch ash. You mentioned it in your article, but you didn't have a. You should put your article should have pictures, David. Put a picture of that cigar in your article.
I should have pictures. I didn't show you that picture?
You showed me, but you didn't show the world.
Oh, well, the world doesn't care.
Well, let's find out if there's one more. Maybe the two guys at the courthouse will like it.
It's that's when I was outside the Lord Baltimore Hotel. and I was
Did you look up my mom's house where she was in the Army and Dad was in the Navy in 43?
you know,
Look at that.
That's hilarious.
Oh, my gosh.
That's known as a good cigar, right,
the
Dave?
ash was longer than the cigar,
That's a really high quality cigar that can hold its ash.
and there I am smoking it.
Yeah.
You can
Well,
hold
he's
your
darn.
ash. You can hold your ash, and Bill can haul ash.
Yeah, that's a nice ash.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
good
there
looking-
you go.
That's a good looking ash you got there.
Yeah. One more thing to get us in trouble.
Becky's wanting to leave now, I think.
Okay, picture
Start-
time. We're
Starting to delve into locker room.
Well, we can get there. Alvin Cohen. Alvin.
That's Alvin, and he's with,
Who is that?
I don't know.
I don't either.
She looks a little bit familiar.
Alvin's still alive. Jerry died a few years ago. The
Oh,
two
that's
boys, Adeline and Mitch, ran the Mitchell's
Mm.
clothing store.
I don't know who that is.
These negatives this week were overexposed and a little hard to make come out, so they're not the best quality.
They
Well,
were
this
mo-
was-
they were modeling
That used to be the style
Oh,
show.
that's
Style
right.
show.
That's right.
And Alvin was doing some of Mitchell's clothes.
clothing.
But
Yeah,
the gal escapes us. Is
she's older.
that Van Voris?
Yeah,
I think that's Mrs. Van Boris.
Elizabeth Van Boris. She was pregnant at the time.
She was not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a maternity dress. Is she modeling? I got hit. Becky hit me.
Yeah,
Great gal. She's a good music
Yeah,
teacher.
she was.
Wonderful
You
teacher.
didn't mess with her, I'll tell you that.
No, she was special.
You hit a wrong note, she'd hit you in the throat.
Special teacher.
She won the state.
Yes,
All the
we
time.
won the state.
Mr.
Well, we would have won it in basketball. She'd been the coach.
Yeah. And if her boy could play basketball,
Oh,
he was about
man.
6'9".
Tim was a big guy.
That's Mr. and Mrs.
Mm.
Devers.
That's the Devers, and
Al-
it's Althea and Maureen.
Yeah,
What a nice picture.
yeah.
Miss Tuscola and homecoming queen.
Mm-hmm. Mardina.
Martina Bridges. She wore that the homecoming I took her my sophomore year.
Wonder what.
Thought it was a strange outfit.
That same outfit.
Thought it was a strange outfit.
Well, Mardina's in California.
She's at the University of California, Davis campus, I think, teaching English.
Yep.
Last
smart
we knew.
cookie.
well, maybe her students would like to see this photo.
Yeah.
She was, she was very bright. Becky Alexander and Mardina.
Oak.
I'm
Can't
not for
tell.
sure who
Judy
is.
Lewis, Judy Lewis.
It might be Judy. I can't really tell.
I don't know if Judy would.
This
do
was
it.
head
this,
cocked
this was the
back.
famous Irish dance they did, the river dancing.
Mhm.
Are they elves or something? I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
I
It
think
was-
they're elves.
It was a version of river dance, it was more of a pond dance. Oh,
Jane
Jane.
Furco.
Oh,
Furco.
boy.
Jane Furco was the first one after we'd graduated from high school to pass away.
Yeah, she was.
Car wreck down at Southern, wasn't it?
Great.
Hmm.
Who's the
Fun.
guy with her?
I don't know. Lucky guy.
I can't tell.
That's an older guy.
Somebody out of town, I guess.
Might be. Oh, Copeland,
Yeah.
Sharon Copeland.
Copeland.
class of 67,
Mhm.
lives in Alabama.
Yeah, she's just like a Southern
Belle.
belle in charge of a little.
She was always a nice girl. She worked at Candy Kitchen.
Yeah, she did. Drove a little Metropolitan, a little blue and white Metropolitan you could fit in your pocket. Remember that little car? It was the mayor. It was just like the Mayor Jones.
Mayor
Yeah.
Jones, Fred.
That's Taylor.
That's
Uh,
Jill Edwards.
Jill Edwards, the bank president's daughter.
She was class of 67, but never heard from her again.
I went down to, I went down to North Carolina.
You saw her though, but
We saw her.
no one's seen her since.
No, that marriage didn't last, and she had a brother, what was his name? Georgie?
I can't remember.
But
What did you
June,
say her first name is?
June Edwards. She was a great singer.
She was really a nice girl. They lived on Sale Street.
Where Orville Fry
Orville
lived.
Fry eventually
Really?
lived there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that White House. George Edwards moved to Florida. I think that's
I can't tell. The eyes are closed.
Well, and the picture quality is not very good.
not one of the nun girls, is it?
No, I don't think.
Could be somebody in my sister's class, like 63, 64.
Well, Carol Schroed thought it was Debbie Summerlaw, but Janice Moody thought it was one of the nuns.
Okay, I don't, that'd be Summerall.
I think it's either one of the nuns.
Debbie would have only been a freshman, I think, that year.
Nell or Ann Nunn, I think, but I don't remember with long hair. They always had short.
No, I didn't.
We'll blame it on the quality of the negative.
But
She would have been
glasses on that gal looks like Trisha Wolf.
She'd have been a junior. Well, Tricia was 63. She'd been long gone. Yeah, I think
Well,
it's
she
one-
might have come back
Yeah.
for the summer
There we
show.
go. There's firsties. Let's see. And there's Mayor Jones on the left, I think. Isn't that Mayor Jones?
Possibly.
And the Beatles, is that the Beatles long?
No, that's, you look at this, he's carrying a camera.
Is that, well, who would that be?
Well, I don't know.
Mr. Pettit wore a suit at Bob. And in the parade, we got Sharon. Oh, there's used to work for the city right there.
Ed Jones gave me a ticket one
Big guy, Ed
time.
Jones. Go back to the car. We got Sharon Copeland leaning out right.
And what you got there is a 62 Oldsmobile.
And you got Debbie Hackett leaning out right, Sharon Copeland left, and it looks like
Becky.
Yeah, Becky.
Alexander Wynn.
And this says the Beatles. Look at that on the strand.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Help. That was their movie. Help.
Everyone lined up. This was probably homecoming
October.
That's
parade.
homecoming.
It's
That's
October of
senior-
60,
senior year.
65. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's 64.
65.
Oh, 65, you're right.
Yeah, 65.
Yeah.
We'd finally got rid of some of the riffraff
Right.
and
Oh,
you know,
man.
we were in good shape.
Right.
Downhill. Oh,
That's Kellogg.
Yeah, that's
Or, I mean,
Eddie Miller's wife, Jane.
Jane Miller.
Jane Miller, Jane Kellogg.
Yeah. Huh.
Must have been a run on Elf.
Oh,
Elf must have
I
been a run on
bet
Elf.
we can tell us who some of these
Must have been a run on
kiddos
Elf
are.
closing that year.
That's that Van Dorn boy back there, Terry Van Dorn.
Yeah,
Remember him?
died in a car wreck.
Yeah.
Got a police officer back here.
That's Brinkley.
Yeah, that's Harold Brinkley. I think that's Terry Van Dorn.
Yeah, could be.
He would be a freshman.
I'm gonna get rid of this here so we can.
That almost looks like Gerald Clarkson.
A second. Let me see. Who do you think Gerald is? I coached him in baseball. Let me get rid of this so I can grab it. Okay, go back over to
Is that
Gerald.
Greg Albritton?
It looks like Greg.
See right
Albritton.
there leaning in there, Mike?
That could be Gerald. I don't know. Sweet kid.
Yeah, he was a good boy.
Look at the hat on the little boy back.
Yeah.
Go, keep on going. There's somebody leaning out here. Keep on going. Who's that right there?
Look how well behaved these kids are.
Well, they got whipped back in those days, you got whipped if you misbehaved.
We're not even supposed to say that now.
Well, I got whipped.
Well, me too.
Look at that hat on that kid. Isn't that something?
That's
Yeah.
what he just said.
I'm gonna say it again, 'cause nobody responded. If you don't laugh at what I say, I'm assuming you didn't hear me. Not that it wasn't funny.
You'll notice the bank sign.
Yeah, that's where the
Oh,
old T&B
yeah.
was. Joe's Pizza's there now.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right.
There they are.
Oh my goodness.
That's some beauties. Go
Too
ahead.
many beauties all at once. I don't know if my heart's going to take, I've got,
I gotta
AFib.
go lay down.
That's right. Alan Hall's driving the car,
Yeah.
I believe. Isn't
Well,
that
name-
Alan Hall?
Yeah. Name them all. Could be less.
Well, we go left to right. We go Maureen Deaver, Kathy Van Dorn, Lois Kleiss, and then she's special. This gal was really a special. That's Becky Kegley. And now we know her as Becky Carroll sometimes, Janet Wright. And then there's Martina Bridges.
Is that Les or Alan? That could be Les. He was a
No,
junior.
I think that's that's Alan driving the car. And Alan married Janet Wright.
That's right.
And Mike married Becky.
Yeah.
And Bill almost married Martina.
No.
Close.
And we just saw Lois not too long ago.
Yeah, at her brother's funeral.
Mhm.
We went to dinner with Kathy a few years ago. And here we go.
John Rothgeb and
Janet
Wright.
Janet Wright.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who the guys were.
Jim Bo Allen driving the car.
Airline pilot.
Airline pilot for Delta. Jim lives in Marietta, Georgia, I
Is he
believe.
still flying or did he finally?
No, he retired quite a while ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a plane. The guy 77 years old flying, would you?
Jim Allen was a good football player,
Played
good
tackle,
lineman.
Played tackle. Janice was my class. She was a brain.
Mhm.
Well, letter jackets haven't changed, have they?
Oh,
No, and there's the old go back out large and you'll see, what is that, a 64 Chevy?
65.
Looks like an Impala.
I think it's 65 Chevy.
There's the old First Federal Savings and Loan. Right on the west side of the First National Bank or the vault. And there used to be a bunch of stores right along there.
mhm.
That was First Federal.
Hmm.
There's the
Oh, there are the guys.
there's the guys.
Oh, man.
Oh boy.
What a crew. Dandies. Go ahead, Beck.
Go ahead, Becky.
Is that John Rothgeb?
Well,
Mhm.
let's just say right to left, Beck.
Left, John Rothgeb, Johnny Beatty, Mark Bright, who I drove with. Oh, who's that?
Who's
That's
that?
Bull.
Bill
Bull.
Englehardt
Yeah.
Engelhardt.
and
Froder Duke.
Ricky Kahneman and Gary Brewer.
There they are.
Porky Brewer, Frode Kahneman, Bull Engelhardt.
Good guys, all of them great guys.
Yeah.
Goose.
Beatty looks like he's ready to fight again, though. Everybody's smiling except Beatty.
He
Johnny.
Bill, how
had-
tall is that guy next to you?
He's a big boy.
Yeah,
About
Mark,
he's about
great
6'7".
guy, great
And,
guy.
and funny thing is, he grew after that picture was taken. He
Yeah.
grew more.
Yeah. He could almost dunk it on just going up on his toes.
Yeah.
Froder's down in Panama City,
He was nice.
real estate developer. Gary was a dentist in the Air Force
Gary was a dentist in the Army.
career.
Uh-huh.
Bill wound up driving a meat truck. Almost married Martina. Beatty went to Vietnam, saw a lot of combat, came back home after Vietnam, went to Gene Murray's house and said, "Thank you for making me stay alive, making me tough."
You want to see how Mark Bright grew. I mean, he would have got this jacket his sophomore year.
Well, his
And
hands
look
are-
at,
Look, his tee is so much higher than everybody
Well,
else.
but no, look,
yeah,
he's
see his
outgrown-
jacket.
already
He's outgrown the
jacket.
jacket.
Yeah,
Look how big his hands
I did
are.
the same thing.
Oh, he had
I
big
did the same
hands.
thing. I couldn't get my jacket on after about 10 years.
Wasn't your arms though? was it?
It wasn't height, was it? Okay, on the right, looks like Joe Wilhelm with the trombone.
That's a Teal boy.
Which one was
That's Teal. There's Gary Neal.
In the middle.
That would be
Stu Carmack?
Stu Carmack.
Shuey?
Can't tell. Might be Denny. No, he was out of
No.
high school.
Oh, that's right. Well, he came back for the parade.
Look at those uniforms.
Yeah, we had a big band and
Oh,
they
yeah.
had snappy
Yeah.
uniforms
And they
and we marched.
performed at halftime all the time.
They performed at halftime out in the field, did all kinds of fancy maneuvers. Well, we had about 400 or 500 kids in school then.
We had more students. Wonderful.
Teal, what was his name?
Oh, look at
There it
that.
is,
That's Donnie Smith driving the car.
64 Chevy.
Oh, yeah,
Impala, Chevy.
yeah.
Mark Bright and
Beccaroony.
Becky.
Beccaroony,
Becky's looking swell.
one of the Kegley girls. Mark Bright looked like Ferris Bueller and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He looks like
He
Matthew
does,
Broderick,
doesn't he?
doesn't he, right there?
does.
Yeah.
And that,
They're skipping
Yeah.
school.
Mark actually lived with Don Smith there for
Oh,
a
did
while.
he? Yeah, he's an
remember?
Arcola boy, wasn't he? What, his mom from Arcola?
No. You're thinking something else. When
his
Mark's
wife.
mother, his wife was from Arcola.
Yeah.
Mark moved in with the Smiths when his mom moved to Mattoon.
Oh, Mattoon.
and I'll
Yeah.
tell you, that hair did not move. I don't care how many. It did not move.
Becky and her hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Becky dies before me, I'll have a heart attack.
See
trying to
that
figure
button
out.
on that T?
Go back to that button.
What is
I've
it?
got that button. That's it.
Why
The
doesn't Mark
chief
have it? Why doesn't
button.
Mark have it?
Well, he's got one. I've got one too. That's the Indian head on that. I'll show it to you.
Those are
sometime.
illegal now, aren't they? Contraband.
Probably. Everything else is.
Couldn't find a nicer guy.
Maureen, the
There.
winner.
Gary Brewer.
That's
Brewer.
Joe Walcott
Joe
driving a
Waldrop.
Waldrop driving
Or
a car.
Walcott, the guy from, that's a guy from the NASCAR series.
Look at this dog gonna pee on the
I know that
car.
dog.
Oh, gee.
That's Beatty's bulldog. Oh, Gary, he was middle linebacker, leading tackler, tough guy.
Tough nut.
Back when they had floats,
What does it say?
well, something about must pass.
Passed.
I don't know. We see anybody we recognize there?
That's Staler.
One of us, yeah.
Remember, that's the youngest
flag.
Staler.
right there.
This
I know.
boy right here without a hat on.
Yeah.
God, I can't think of his name, first name.
They had a lot of kids.
Well, it wouldn't be the youngest Taylor.
No, that's the
Peanut.
twins are the youngest, aren't they?
No, Peanut was the youngest.
Peanut.
No, Peanut's older.
Who's the youngest?
Mark and Mike.
Mark and Mike.
Okay.
Connie graduated with us, and this boy was in the he was a freshman.
Well, how about the other Stater, the brain, left-handed? What was his name? Right behind Connie.
Oh, well, that's Scott.
Scott.
He was 67.
Yeah. A little blurry. We
Yeah.
get them all.
Oh,
See if you recognize anybody.
No,
oh, that's a good
Hardly
picture.
Johnny.
Back on the tractor is
Butch McCullum,
Butch McCollum.
class of 67. That's a good picture, John.
Now, don't be deceived by Johnny Beatty smiling.
Yeah. He won. He's king.
Yeah, he was king. Strong, silent type.
I wish one of the kids would call him, or relatives would call him up and tell him about this. So
Well, that's the uncle.
his
to
wife,
Stewart
Bert, would
boys.
get on this. Maybe I'll call him.
Yeah.
He's out in Kansas.
Mhm.
Worked at a maintenance power plant.
Well, he's long time retired now.
Yeah.
Hard work. We did Emmanuel.
He came back one homecoming.
We played golf.
Came back. Yeah, we played golf.
And I hadn't seen him in 30 years, and he
White
started.
hair.
I hadn't seen him in 30 or 40 years, and he started cussing at me.
God.
And he did.
Oh.
Hey, Carol, you did blah blah blah. And Skinner just looked at him, you know. I said, Johnny, you might be able to beat me up. I'm gonna whip you in golf. I'll bet you buck a hole. And Skinner said, Beatty,
I
Beatty,
remember that.
think about this. He just won the club championship. He's a one handicapper. Think about this, Johnny.
He'd give it all he had.
He does. He loved golf.
And did you identify Martina there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Another float. I like these old floats.
Hopping.
Everyone
hopping to
did.
licking.
Or
Or
hopping to lick them. It makes no sense, but
Hadn't been banned.
That's
Well,
like hoping. Hopping.
yeah. Look at the work that went into that.
Yes.
We know.
Yeah, that's
We know we did them,
Yeah.
but it was fun doing it.
Yeah.
How'd they get that? Rabbit's about 10 foot tall. How'd they get that ear done up there? Get a ladder?
Oh, who knows, Mike?
You know, sometimes after you did all the stuffing on the float and everything, you'd get to take someone out for maybe a coat.
Well, we talked about that's where you dated, and I noticed I would work real hard trying to get it done, and everybody's gone. All the guys and gals hooked up and gone. I'm going, wait, I'm here by myself. Mr. Nerd guy got himself. I was kind of a nerd.
There's a chicken. What was that one?
We're laying to something. I don't know. Oh, that's who did that one?
Was
We're
ours?
not picking, we're laying
For
for
victory?
unity.
Oh, Lane
For
for
unity.
Unity. Hmm.
Now that's taken over on NC Street. That picture.
There's the Moran house back there. That's
Yeah,
where
and
Shorty
there's-
Moran grew up on the left.
And this is Harold Waits in there, I
Harold
think.
Waits' little house. Why would they go down Wednesday Street?
I don't know.
What's the SR stand for?
Maybe that started their seniors.
Seniors.
Senior.
That's ours.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you
ours.
guys did a better one earlier with the
Oh, there we go.
skunks.
That's a good picture of Becky.
That's a
and
good
there's Shorty
picture.
Moran's house again. Debbie.
Well, that's where they started the parade.
Oh, I
Here.
see. Debbie
Yeah.
Hackett is out selling. She was a realtor out in Kansas.
Kansas, yeah.
Kansas.
Becky passed
Becky's
away.
passed
Becky
away.
passed away. Sharon
Copeland.
Copeland.
Sharon was Sharon parents came for the plant, lived out in Hillcrest.
She was the only junior.
I remember the house. I drove by it all the time.
Boys in the barber shop like Sharon. She
Yeah,
worked.
yeah.
That's
They'd quit cutting your hair and run over to the window.
right.
When
That's
Sharon-
Carol Teeters.
She was the chief back when that was legal. Another Chevy. Is that an Impala? Can't read it. Looks like a Chevy.
Well, there's a float.
That's Kevin Connor pulling that wagon because that's his dad
Harry Connor on their side.
on the other side. I'll bet. Do you have a comment on this? Because I bet Kevin.
We
Wrote
had
in
this
on
float
this.
last week. It says Steve Bunch, Harry Connor, and Kevin Connor. Last week we had a picture of the same float that had Chris Hill in it.
You know, I mean, not only do we have all these big high school floats, everybody in town made a float.
On the
Yeah.
little wagon.
Yeah.
Float, float, float. There's the old train station across there.
Don't baby unity.
Don't
This-
baby unity.
The B&O across there.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
down here we've got
Dunn's Drugs.
Dunn's
Well,
Drugstore,
Lamb's HVAC.
and this
Hey,
is
you know-
Hillard was in right there in the corner.
Right.
That looks like an
The
insurance
Hillard
sign.
Agency was in that old CSX building, train
Yep.
I
station.
haven't seen a lot of pictures of that depot.
Now, here's a good one, David. This tells you something about the citizenry, right? Stop on red lights, on red signals. I
Stop
wonder what
on
people,
red signal.
I wonder what people thought the red signals were as they were flashing back and forth. Oh, look, speed up.
This was before crossing arms.
Yeah, and then people drove across and got killed, and then they had to put crossing arms up.
I think
Yep.
up here at the top you can't really see it, but it says I think it says 2 tracks so that you know there's
Yeah.
That's
Say,
one train goes by doesn't mean there isn't
not-
another one on the other track.
they should have put a big sign that said, warning, trains are big and can kill you.
Yeah.
There we go. That's during the homecoming,
Okay.
people line up. You name who you can, I'll get the ones you don't know.
Well, this is the throat girl, the
Mhm.
youngest, and that's, or
Connie,
I think it's her. Isn't that Gary Graham,
Gary Graham.
John Coffey? Can't tell. Larry Bunning, Jane Furco, Alan Sebens, Kathy Van Dorn,
no, Kathy,
Oh,
oh,
yeah. Kathy
Oh, it's
Van Dorn was
Kathy.
Candidate.
Kathy Hull. Is that Eric Fromm back
Fromm,
there?
Eric Fromm.
This girl, I can't remember her name. She's a real pretty girl.
Yes, she is.
Gary Little, Carol Beals,
They got married,
um,
Reinhardt.
Terry Reinhardt, and who is that girl? I tell you what, I have to just stop and look at some of these pictures. When you put Jane Furco in the picture, I can, I just reminisce. You know, I can hear her laughing.
Yeah.
And,
Great personality.
Hey, wait, that's Larry, is that Larry Bunning?
yeah.
Larry Bunning.
Mhm.
I told you the story that I lived across the street. She lived just on the north side of Brookside, and I lived across
Mhm.
the street, Brookside, and
All three of
in
you
grade
right
school,
there
in
together.
grade school, Larry Bunning and Larry Bunning lived just north of Furco's. And we'd go play, and the Nucio girl who lived about a block away down by the old North Ward Susan Nuccio and Jane Furco and Larry and I, the girls said, let's have a game where you guys take off. We'll chase you. We get a kiss you if we catch you. And I said, okay. Larry Bunny took off like a rocket, and the two girls ran after him, and I just stood there. I mean, I don't get it. I didn't move. All they do is just walk up to me and kiss me. Or were they that dumb? Was something wrong with them?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
it,
was
Mike.
taken. I was easy meat.
We were always in alphabetical order in the classrooms in grade school.
Oh, yeah.
So Jane, obviously, was in my class every year. She was a great gal,
She was full of life.
full of life.
Okay, see if you can get them.
Okay, on the left, we have Wendy Warren and Connie Smith,
Very good.
Chuck Grimm, and is that one of the Hinton girls? I can't tell.
I can't quite tell.
That's
Tim Hole,
bad negative.
and I can't tell.
Is that
Matt Morey, and that's Marilyn Kleiss.
he married?
They married, yeah.
That's my cousin.
That's cousin.
Tim McGuire and the
So Melinda Ringer,
Melinda Ringer.
Is that
Denny Kahn, I believe, with Linda Kelsey,
They dated. Donnie,
Donnie Smith.
can you slide it or is that it?
Oh,
That's it.
I don't know, who did Donnie date in high school?
Jane.
Oh, did he?
Well, he did. I thought they went out
Is that the
together.
Morrow girl?
No,
Okay.
And this looks like it's in the gym.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
homecoming and
The stage behind there.
yeah, and you lined up on either side, formed a victory V, and then they paraded in the candidates. Okay,
Okay.
there's Fromm again.
Fromm again, Gary
Not sure.
Little again, Terry Reinhardt again,
Now we have Eaton.
Greg Eaton.
And Kathy Wade,
Kathy Wade.
Dana Bishop,
Oh,
and Susan, is that Nuccio?
Nooch, isn't it?
Susan Nuccio.
Yeah.
Jerry Cole.
Jerry Cohen. Jerry got, that's Bonnie Butler.
Bonnie Butler and Leeds.
Wayne Leeds.
Wayne Leeds and Ashwell,
Uh-huh.
Lynette Ashwell.
Well, I'll be
Wayne was
darned.
I worked up at the elevator. I was going to law school. I used to work during the harvest season at night. Wayne worked up there. Wayne Leeds, one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet, tragically got killed with his family. Only one daughter survived going east on Route 36 out near the 133.
Christmas time.
And there was ice and a big truck turned in front of him going south, and Wayne locked him up and just slid.
Jerry Cohen is passed now. Dana Bishop is passed.
Jerry and Dana were not very big, but they were two of the toughest football players you ever wanted to see.
Dana Bishop was captain his senior
Captain, and
year.
Jerry was mean. Both of them were great.
Greg Eaton became the high school principal at Morris, Illinois.
And the earlier show, John Coffey, who became Olympia principal.
He was principal at Lexington for
Lexington.
many years, like 20 some years.
Who was at Olympia? Didn't we have somebody at Olympia?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, here we go. Now we're getting down to this.
Okay, here we go. On the left is Denny Kahn and Linda Kelsey, Donnie Smith and Janine Hall,
oh, yeah.
Jimbo Allen and
Sister.
Barbara Clark,
You sure it's not
Richard Lindsay and Candy Taylor.
Candy Taylor?
Larry Bean and I just had a great talk yesterday afternoon. We did a little political talking. And is that Vicki Vincent?
That is Vicki
Oh, that
Vincent.
looks like it.
Vicki Vincent.
And then we've got Greg Skinner with help.
Well, that's just Sharon, isn't it?
That's
It
Sharon
looks like
Copeland.
Sharon Copeland.
Yeah, that's who that is.
John Laster and Sharon
Oh,
Marsh.
yeah.
Swampy.
Swampy.
And John and Sharon have passed away. Greg's passed away. This is scary.
Richard's gone. Yeah, it's great to look at old pictures and have good memories, but
Mhm.
man, it's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Am I dancing in there?
You're
see
doing
me?
the boogaloo.
Skinner's over here on
Skinner
the
doing
left,
the boogaloo.
smiling about something.
Yeah.
Is that Steve Ettinger?
That's Steve Hedinger in the
Yeah,
center.
There's
Honey, they can't tell.
They can see my finger. See this? See, this didn't that work, David?
No.
David's going right down.
That's John Coffey over here, the taller guy with the glasses on, the flat top. John Coffey was a quarterback.
John Coffey was a tackle, and Doug McCumber, his junior year, didn't go out for football. Doug would have probably been the quarterback, and so Coffey became the quarterback from tackle. Great quarterback, threw a perfect spiral.
Is that Andrea?
Well, you would know? It's your wife. Wait, is that Andrea?
Well, it kind of looks
Oh,
like
she got
her
her
from
back
the
to us.
side. It got her
Yeah.
back to me. I can't really see.
You can't recognize your kids? Is this Bob Bear? Is this
I was
Bob?
going to say it was Bob Bear,
The
but
guy-
I was almost afraid to say it.
The guy in the middle of the boutonniere, it looks like
Bob Bear had a band.
Yes, he did.
Oh, man.
I think Celeste sang in it.
Celeste was a singer. Gary Cole was in it. Jeff Bear was in it.
Jeff, his brother, was in it. I don't think Steve was an
No.
artist. Steve was an artist, not
No,
a singer.
Steve was chauffeuring Lee Williams.
Yeah, that's right. They were car guys.
Yeah.
They were car guys. Steve and I got a paint.
Well, he
Steve,
was-
by the way, Steve and I won the art award in high school, and we got to, at homecoming, we always painted windows downtown.
yeah.
Steve and I painted Gates Jewelry. We painted a big moon and a flying thing. We painted a hot rod, 32 Ford bucket coupe, souped up.
Huh.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Is all this stuff from your past getting you?
Yeah. Go too fast.
Slow down.
We're brewing school spirits, and there's a jug that got a still.
That's the junior class, 67.
Yeah, that's cute.
Harold Waite's house back there.
Yeah.
And I call it the Moran house, Shorty Moran, who, when we were young, we played a lot of ball with Shorty across the street right there on the old Northward
Yeah.
line. Shorty was a great guy.
I see what's written on the jug. Somebody probably still has that jug somewhere.
Probably. That is Malcolm Wadlin, who is the announcer. Malcolm's class of 66,
His dad was a minister at the Methodist
Mm.
Church.
Presbyterian.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Wallace Wadlin, great
Were you ever
family.
inside that building?
Yes, I was. Malcolm knew me well.
I'd like to see a picture before I die.
Now, there's Greg Skinner walking in with
Sharon Cole,
Sharon Copeland.
coming out of the girls' locker room. What were they doing?
Well, I don't know, but Skinner probably knew his way around.
Yeah. And the cameras in there, I think. There's Janine. Is that Janine Hall or not?
No,
I
I
can't
don't
quite
think
tell.
so. I can't
There's
tell.
Dennis Kahn in the middle classes. Dark
Yeah.
glasses.
There's
Oh,
John
look,
Cox.
John Cox on the left. And Jimbo Allen.
Is that Judy Knetz?
Judy Knetz on the left and Sharon Green on the right.
This is fun, David. This is really a lot of fun. This has to be Bright standing there, doesn't it?
Well, he's out of the picture. Who do you
I
think-
know
who
it,
do you
but
think
see how
this
tall
is?
he is. I
Oh,
can't
could
tell.
that be Rita Duenson?
Possibly.
Dance with Les Hall, maybe?
Is that Les?
Could be. Back
Back in the day?
Sophomore.
He'd be a freshman. Or would he be a sophomore?
68.
He wouldn't have graduated 68.
I
yeah.
think he's 68, I think.
Well, Les was a mover and a shaker.
Okay, Bill Huber's up there announcing. I don't know who else is up in the.
That's the press box. That almost looks like Bob over at Hastings over there.
He's probably up there. This picture, I can't,
It's blurry.
it's blurry.
Yeah, some of us.
You said it was tough negatives.
Yeah, the negatives were
Oh,
had to do
Whoa,
a lot of editing.
they were doing the funky chicken. The funky chicken was a big dance back then.
Moving and grooving.
is that John McGrath?
Well, it looked like.
Look at the face.
I know, it looks like John McGrath and Beller Grove. He should have been banned. And they got their shoes off, but John's out of high school, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he's your age.
Well, you can't come back.
Well, hey, kid to the dance
And
if
they-
he's got a date.
Aren't they doing the funky chicken where they,
Oh, I don't
they're heading out to the Roosters and stuff.
Can you go in closer on that? I want to see that big tall guy on the right
Yeah,
because it sure looks like John McGrath to me.
I don't know. Looks like Linda Kelsey from the side.
No, it's not John.
No, we don't know who.
John was meaner than that.
Who's this over here? Who's flipping his? Oh, there we
I don't
go.
know. I don't know who that is.
Who's this?
Don't know.
Well, go back to football. 25, I think is Johnny Lasser's number. 11, I think is Dana Bishop's number. 79, I think was Gary Graham's number.
It looks like a big pile up
It
at the
does.
line.
Yeah. All the blockers, we were taught as a blocker just to fall on the ground. And you notice all the blockers are on the ground, just laying there.
Gee, many.
So but do I have the numbers right? I think 25 was Lasser, if I remember his number. I think 11.
I think
was,
11 was Beatty, maybe.
I thought it was Bishop, but maybe it's, I don't.
I don't know.
That's Unity's dreaded uniform.
No, now there's a score.
There's a
Wow.
score. You can tell the score.
Yeah, I thought
That's down in the southeast corner. The band room is right there on the, you see the outside of the building. That's the band room at the high school.
Yeah, so it's at the school end of the football field.
Mhm.
I thought it was cool to see what the scoreboard used to look like.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's Skinner, 31.
31 is Skinner, who's fullback. He let a Unity guy get to him.
But he brought his leg down and
Yeah,
probably
he did,
kicked him
yeah.
in the head.
But look at these good blocking. That's great blocking.
I'll bet that's Beatty block.
No, that's an N number. It's an 8
Is
or
it?
something. Yeah. Beatty's in a fight somewhere.
There's our
Press box
press box.
on the
It would have been, it
on
was
the north side. wasn't it?
north side, yeah.
there they go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here we are.
My mom made my dress.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Had no money.
That was velveteen and had a tapestry little overhang there, right there.
Lonnie Von Lincoln's sitting there in the king chair with Ann Curley.
Ann Curley. Nick Von Lincoln. That was his brother Terry's nickname. We all called him Nick, a lot of us. And there's an example of how tall Mark Bright is. There's Frodo dude next to him, and there's Mark towering over him.
Yeah.
There's Becky in the middle. Becky still got those flowers in the freezer. We can't put any meat in the freezer because she's still got her homecoming flowers in there. It's been Becky, it's been almost over 60 years. It's time to put the flowers out. There's Rothgab Engel. Oh, go back. On the right, Rothgab, Engelhardt, and Brewer.
Right, Lois and Maureen.
Yeah. Maureen just got homecoming queen.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hot, close election. A lot of arguments, a lot of ads run.
Oh, there were not.
A lot of stupid, fascist, or a lot of words thrown around.
Oh, goodness.
Who's Jane with?
What is that?
You know what?
You know,
That's Gene
That's
Waters.
Gene Waters. You're right.
That is
Smile.
Gene Waters with Jane
Can't
Furco.
fake that smile from Gene.
Nope. Gene would have been like seventh grade.
Eighth grade, maybe?
She graduated, let's see, she was behind 71. So I think somewhere 72, 73. She would have been in grade school. That is a wonderful picture of
That
Jane.
is.
Yeah, she's
Pretty
a pretty
girl.
girl. Pretty girl. I don't know why she didn't kiss me, though.
No, I don't
Johnny
either.
and
There's the
Maureen.
king
I
and
wish
queen.
she would have.
There's Bonnie Butler in the back. There's Johnny Beatty. Johnny smiling.
Yeah.
Good for Johnny.
You'd smile too if you'd dance with Maureen.
Well, he got to be king.
Yeah, well, he
Well,
was.
Mostly got to
Yeah.
dance with Maureen.
Yeah.
There's
Now,
Donnie
is that
Smith.
Donnie Drive? He's dancing with Janine?
Donnie Smith with Janine.
I
And there's
think.
Frodo Dew
Frode, Bonnie Butler there in the
with
background.
Jerry Cohen. Gary Little way back in the back.
I think so.
Head the size of a penny. We're picking people that you can't even see.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Open up the gym doors partly.
Gosh, isn't that funny? I pick out Skinner.
Well, everybody can pick
like
out
that.
Skinner.
Well, I know.
there he is, right in the middle.
But he's right there in the middle.
Big Greek.
John Lester.
John
Oh,
Le-
whoa.
Whoa, on the left
On the left.
with a boutonniere
Yep. That's
is the bolster.
now I want to know. Oh, yeah, I know who I'd have been with.
Who would you have been with?
I'd have been with a young lady from Newman.
Oh my God, you almost married her too. How many women did you almost marry?
No, we don't want to talk about that.
How many engagement rings did you throw away? Bill was a fool for love.
That's what the songs all
Russell
said.
Mata in the very back.
That is Russell Mott in the
way
back.
back at the back with the white shirt.
John Dietrich,
On the
right
left.
in the behind
You're having
Skinner.
trouble telling us where we're at.
Now,
Now,
there she is, because she's with Dietrich. That's Andrea.
Andrea.
yeah, she
With
dated
Dietrich,
Bush.
yeah.
She about married him. A lot of close marriages back then.
Which one is Andrea?
You see this guy on the left with a white boutonniere, dark shoot, and he's got a flat top. He's on our left. He's about 3/4 of the way on the left, quarter in the right.
You go all the way
right
back.
there. Now put your cursor on him.
The flat
A little
top?
bit
Right,
right.
go
There's
right.
Becky, by the way.
Right there.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
Becky.
yeah.
There's Becky. Go to the right. Our right. A little more. Our right. You're going left. A little more. You almost got him right there.
That's it. Yeah.
Now, just to the right of him is Andrea Surma. Bill thinks from the back of her head, and you ought to be able to recognize her.
It's back of her head. I do recognize her.
She's actually dancing with Butch Dietrich, not
Yeah.
Greg.
There's Leon Kenny and Bill Coverstone.
Yeah. There's Gary Neal stuck in there.
Mhm.
Laster was probably dating Vicki Vincent at the time, or Noel Dwensing. I don't know who he was dating that year. Or
Laster?
looks like Laster's. Go back to that. Zero in on the left over here. Our left, your right. Right? A little bit more. Laster's dancing by himself.
No, he's not.
I'm just kidding. Who's Laster dancing with?
That's you, Bill.
That's me.
That's the bolster. Ingo. And Becky's dancing with who?
You know who that is back there, Mike?
Wait.
That's Ox Brown.
Oh, Dave Brown. Okay. Slide over to the right, our right.
That's Marilyn Kleiss.
Oh, that's me.
That's Becky. In
It
her
is?
Yeah. that's
velveteen
me.
dress. You think so?
Think so what?
You sure? 'Cause
I
who you dancing with?
Randy Rothrock.
That's not random.
That doesn't
Yes,
look like
yes, it is.
Rothrock.
I know it is.
Well, you would know. You almost married him.
Yeah. Everybody almost married, but you couldn't get a kiss from two girls.
They were right there. They were right there. And Bunny shot off like a rocket. Well, Bunny does not want to be kissed by those girls. Why would they chase him? He rejected them. Tim Hole. Looks like Rick Gibson
It
came
does
back.
look like Gibson
Rick
came
Gibson
back. Who
came-
was he with?
Oh my gosh. Rick Gibson came back for the Hooter. Who was Hooter dating and back in high school?
Well, this is a mystery.
Maybe he just came back to look around. There's Bob Bear again, right back here.
Yeah.
Terry Lyons.
I bet you got a lot of names on this, don't you?
No.
Is that Mike Brinkley?
No, that's Jim Allen. I
You
think.
sure?
No,
That's
wait a
Mike
minute. You're
Brinkley.
right. No, it's Russell Wilhelm.
Oh, that is Russell Wilhelm. Way to go. And there's Joe Wilhelm back here.
Nope, I didn't have any comments on it.
And you know what? In the front of this picture, there's a guy here who has what we call a DA haircut, I
Well,
think.
just call it what it is.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a
duck-
duck's ass.
Duck's ass haircut.
Oh,
Isn't that
great.
Bobby Bear right there?
I
Russell
did
Wilhelm,
look like
Bear.
Bob Bear. Did you have a lot of names on
We
this?
could
No.
probably get somebody giving us time.
I just posted them yesterday.
Oh,
Harriet Weatherford was the head
Oh, that's right.
majorette. Can you name the other girls, Bill?
well, the one in the center's Armstrong girl. Nancy?
Ann and Nell Nunn are over here, I think.
Yeah, the nun girls for that, but I can't.
I don't know who that is.
Don't know who that is. There's
Can't
Carl
tell.
Court back there, band director.
And
And
we've
that's-
talked before about how this building is still standing,
Right.
but it doesn't have the second story anymore.
But just think about that. That was the Star Store. That was our major department store. People came from all around. Look at the brickwork up there.
Mhm.
They just didn't build a brick building. They actually did fancy brickwork.
What
And
a
the
great
bank and the
picture.
bank over here they put all this limestone in with the brick. These are very, very expensive built. You couldn't build them today. Well, you could, but you have to be Elon Musk. Pay for them. There we go.
Whoa.
Oh boy, you're giving us pictures where we could probably name everybody given enough time.
Typical ball game. You know what's kind of interesting? There's Leon. Kenny sitting there.
I think that's the homecoming.
You know, that could be homecoming.
Yeah, that's them when they had
That's
the
what that is?
formation. I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Well, let's-
Everybody's dressed up, and
Yeah.
I don't think they'd wear suits to.
Is that Fred Fair?
Oh, looks
Billy,
like it.
Jimmy Gay?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Fred Fair and
Fred-
Jimmy Gay.
Jimmy Gay. It looks like Sandra
Sini.
Sandy C.
Saney.
She got me in the army.
Oh, that's right.
She saved my chestnuts.
Hold it. Hold it.
Hold it.
Kind of drop it down if you would.
There's Mr. Kleiss down here.
Yeah. Bill
Bill
Kleiss's
Kleiss'
dad.
dad. His daughter was in the homecoming in the thing.
This is where you bring your dates. The dates should be in the audience.
Boy, that was great to see the stands always full back in those days.
Anything we did.
Well, there's
Even
nothing
the
else.
balcony's pretty full.
Yeah, it was always full. There was nothing to do back then. There was no TV, no phone, no radio. This is horse and buggy days. There we go. Who's up in the air? It looked like those three. Did you guys have debate? I've seen pictures of
Well-
Becky, Copeland,
I
and
know,
Hackett.
because Kathy and I were in the court. This was homecoming.
Oh, they were short.
They were short cheerleaders.
They were short, two cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Well, where's Sandy Rankin at?
I don't know.
She wasn't in the court.
No.
Ben Franklin, that's where Four Seasons started, and they before then was the Vincents. We saw a picture of Vicki Vincent that married Darrell Ferris, your cousin and my great friend Darrell Ferris down in Texas. His wife's parents owned Ben Franklin back then, the Vincents.
Yeah.
Recognize anyone back here?
Well, these are
Give
young-
us a minute. Some of these kids grew up, you know.
Yeah, we didn't.
We never got
We
very
never saw a
far.
good reason to do it.
No, we didn't grow up.
Hmm.
What's kind of funny, if you would have been back then, because you did know
But
everyone.
look how the crowd is out in the street. You can barely get that car through there.
Yeah, they would know who you were if you were a high school cheerleader, athlete.
Yeah.
People just knew one another.
Yeah.
You knew everyone in the high school.
Well, there's a switcheroo now.
Boy, that's a big switcheroo. There's a gal over here on the left, and
Rager?
I'm pointing. That's
Rager?
no, that is Dorothy Sterrett. That's Dorothy Hausman Sterrett.
Dot.
That's Dot. Yeah.
And her sister Pat.
And her sister Pat. There you go. Dort worked at school when I did. Great, great gal. She also worked at Carpenters.
Wait, Pat Hausman?
Hmm? Pat Buckshot
Oh, Buckshot
O'Brien.
O'Brien's. Lived on Nile Street.
That's Kathy Kelsey in there. It looks like to
Well,
me.
Lender, Kathy.
I think it's Kathy.
Yeah, I mean, is that Davis?
Mrs. Davis?
Tommy,
Tommy Davis?
Might be.
looks like it. She hasn't changed at all.
This is 60 some years ago, and Tommy Davis looks exactly the same. She's a Stepford wife. She's been
And she's getting
dipped in
ready
my-
for, she's preparing food for Thanksgiving.
Oh my
Is
God,
she?
she's
Yeah,
90.
she starts early though.
Yeah.
What is she,
She does.
94?
No, I
95?
think it's 94.
Not quite 60 years.
Wow.
No, not quite 60. It'll be next year.
Oh. I just did the math real quick. I was off one and you're jumping my bones.
That's right.
David, my old math teacher. There's Vicki Vincent again on the left, cute girl with Maureen Deaver and her hair in a bun.
That's Kathy Van Doren back there.
That's
By the
Kathy-
men's
No,
restroom.
that looks like a Morrow.
Oh, maybe it is.
That's the Morrow girl.
Yeah, you're
Janet?
right.
Janet Morrow.
You're right.
Janet Morrow, Kathy Vincent, Janet Morrow. I think Maureen wore her hair in a bun every
Yeah,
now
that's
and then.
Maureen.
What's this thing over on the wall called?
That's,
Wow.
oh, that's an unusual
telephone.
thing.
That's a fire alarm. If there's smoke, that thing will ring.
And there's 3 little holes right above the
You
box.
can't believe how many times that Bill and I were in trouble and we found a payphone, we didn't have any money.
I saw a picture on Facebook the other day. A kid in a skating rink and skates using a payphone, and the caption was, "You have a collect call from. It's time to pick me up from the skating rink." You make a collect call.
Oh,
You don't put any money in, but just enough information that mom knows it's time to pick you up, and that's how
I'll
you
tell
get
you-
a
I'll tell you
phone call
something
through without paying for it.
I'll tell you something else we used to do back then. We would always go pick the phone up and put it down and put our hand in the change thing, see if there's any money.
any money in there.
We did
Mhm.
that with all these little vending machines. We'd
Yeah.
always jiggle them and work it and see if we get a quarter drop out.
Yeah.
A quarter, for a quarter back then, you could fill your car up and drive to California.
Buy a hamburger anyway.
Okay.
Okay, let me see here.
Notice the cigarette ashtray out in front
Mhm.
with matches.
You
Yeah.
always have ashtrays.
Good old days.
I don't know, these girls, ladies.
Well, Joyce Lewis and Sharon Cappy say they think that's Sally Dowd on the right.
I was going to say a young Sally Dowd.
Oh, my
who
goodness.
Who
That
just passed.
just
away.
passed away a couple weeks ago.
I was gonna guess that, but that's a young Sally Dowd.
Boy, it is.
That's probably 59 years ago,
Just about.
give or take a year. The blonde we should know.
She would have been 27 there because she was 86 when she
Holy
passed
cow.
away.
Holy cow.
Marcy, she made her things. That's Marlene Phillips on the left. And Karen Beaumont Best agrees. Yeah, I miss Sally. She was a joyful person.
Yeah.
Sharon Copeland. Do not know the younger gal in the middle. And really need Becky's help on this. Is that Linda Holmes?
You know, she had lighter colored hair, didn't she? It looks like her face. That is Linda Holmes, I think. But she had lighter colored hair. Becky? Linda Holmes.
We need your help on this one. I think it's Linda Holmes.
But I thought she had blonde hair. Is that Linda Holmes?
I don't know. I don't know.
You're no good at this.
I'm not even good at all.
Well, you just go wash the dishes.
Oh,
Get in the kitchen where you belong.
God.
Raise the kids.
Don't know who the little one is, though.
We're just garbage. What do we know?
Yeah, what do we know?
Okay.
Okay. Mardina and Becky.
Who's the guy?
Becky's on the far right. Martina's sitting down.
That Dee Dee Harbaugh on the left.
No,
And
that's
Becky
Mrs. Thompson with an umbrella.
Marge Thompson is locked. She's locked out. She and Tommy ran the Tasty Freeze. Got a penny?
Yeah.
Now, you know what? That's pretty good for us to be able to identify Marge
Yeah,
Thompson
yeah.
59 years later.
Well, I can even tell you where she bought the umbrella. She bought the matinee.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Who's this gal on the left? I don't know if she's.
Well, she looks familiar.
Well, they all look familiar with the
and
hairdo.
you said Becky. It's Becky Alexander Wynn.
Yes, Becky
Wynn,
Alexander
Becky
Wynn.
Martina Bridges. We don't know the gal on our left, your right. You know, Marge is late for the show. She's gonna come as a girl in a rainstorm. They're making it more difficult for us.
These three did not graduate in 65
No.
or 6
I think they're
or
out of-
even
I
67.
think they're out of towners.
Jane
that's
Toomey in the middle.
Who?
Jane Toomey.
Wow.
Mark's little sister, Mary's little sister,
Huh.
Virginia's little sister.
Anybody's got these the other two girls?
No,
I think they're Arcola.
Who sent that in?
Oh, he just grabbed it out.
Probably Mark. I mean, as far as
Who had the answer?
answer.
well, Sharon Cappy and then Mary Toomey Freeman.
Yeah,
Mary would probably know her sister.
Mary
Yeah,
would know.
yeah.
Mary would know. Now, this is, I think Jane was a
Those
big
are-
surprise.
Those are Arcola or Arthur girls. There's Candy Taylor. You know, we were wrong on Maureen, by the way.
We were.
Well, that's the same picture of the gal with the bun. That's not
Mhm.
Maureen, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Who that was?
Well, who in the world was that? Candy, Vicky, and anybody identify the girl on your left, our right?
Your left is also my left.
Well, I would hope so, but Candy Taylor, which side? Candy Taylor, is she on your left or right?
Well, I don't know who that is, so
She's wearing blue
Little
jeans.
black-headed gal.
and it's Candy Taylor on the left.
Okay.
Vicky Vincent Ferris in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I
Anybody get
don't have a name on the other one.
Huh. Well, we misidentified that because we called her,
Mm-hmm. Maureen.
It might have been Maureen.
that doesn't look like
her.
Maureen.
Not- That doesn't. but the
That's
other-
not, no.
But that's the same, she got a bun on and brown
Yeah,
hair.
some people wear buns.
Someone will get that, but I just don't know right now. Wait a minute. No, that's not Kathy Hanners.
And Jenny Ferris confirmed that's her mom. That's Daryl's daughter.
Zero in on the right girl, blow that up. Kathy Hanner's
That
man.
is Kathy Hannah.
It is Kathy Hanners.
Kathy Hanner's man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gee, my knee.
Mike Kyle in the middle and who's on
Judy
that right?
Lewis on the left.
Who in the
and
world's that on the right?
I have no idea.
Who is
She's
she?
an out of towner.
Did your mom make that dress?
No, I don't remember wearing that.
Honey, you look like you belong on Hee Haw.
I know.
Oh,
I don't remember.
oh,
Like my wife.
that's
I
Becky.
don't want to see that hairdo again.
I know.
Mike Kyle was a class of 63, my sister's class, played tackle football. Great,
Musician.
wonderful voice.
Beautiful
married
voice.
Marianne Parrish. They went to
Marianne Parrish.
Decatur. He was a physical therapist, I think. Nice guy, gentle giant.
Yeah, he was.
Becky, I've never seen that dress.
I
don't
haven't
see it.
either.
Now there's Linda Holmes on the left. That's Linda Holmes. Oh, no, I mean,
No, that's Carol.
Steve Beals. That's Beals.
That's Carol Beals.
Excuse me. Carol
Yeah, I
Beals.
think Carol Beals.
I'm sorry, Carol.
Do you have
Beals.
any names on this?
Well, Kathy Hanner says Jan Jordan, Rosemary Hanners, Mrs. Kyle.
Well, that could be
Oh.
Jan Jordan.
That is, yeah, that's Steve and Mike Kyle's mother.
Yeah, you're right. But that gal on the left, I think it is Jan Jordan, a freshman. She would have been a freshman.
She would have been a
sophomore.
freshman. And this is Kathy's little sister.
Yeah, I was wrong on that. You were wrong. And there's Essie.
Yeah, Esther Skinner
Oh,
on the
yeah.
left, Esther Skinner Boyer, Jan Brody,
Jan Brody, married Doug
Debbie
Montgomery,
Debbie Summerlot,
and her
Yeah.
mother.
and her mother.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Lois.
Janet Brody had a great voice, did a lot of singing.
David, for your interest, Esther on the far left, that's Gus Flesser's granddaughter.
Greg's sister lives out in what, North Carolina, where she lives?
South Carolina. Class of 69. Looks like her mother there.
The Summerlots, I think Max came for the plant. If I'm not, Max came for the plant, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's the next picture is Mrs. Flume's, second one in from the left. Isn't that Miss
Mhm.
Eric's mother? Eric
Oh,
Flume's
yeah.
mother?
Yeah, that's Eric's mom. I can't identify the other ladies.
Hmm,
That's Gene Waters,
that is, you're right.
the tall one in the back,
Mhm.
but I don't know the
That's
other.
Raggedy Ann.
Yeah.
It'd
Good job, Mike.
be interesting to know who these other two younger girls are.
Well, Nancy Harsh says identified Gene Waters, says we all had matching bangs, so perhaps Nancy is one of them.
Oh,
Might be.
This was a fashion show highlighting a local business. Mom bought the red plaid fabric at Mitchell's and made the dress.
oh.
Mitchell's,
neat.
Mitchell's. Number one.
Nancy Harsh is on the right.
Okay.
And Nancy says she thinks the other girl is Kathy Brown.
Did Dave Brown have a sister?
I don't know. The Kathy Brown we knew was
Was
from
Villa
Villa
Grove.
Grove.
Villa Grove.
Yeah.
David, back then, people made clothes for their, Becky's talked about her mother making her homecoming dress. And Harsh just talked about making dresses with material. Used to buy those patterns. Do people still make dresses, Bill?
I'm not for sure
I
if they
just
did.
saw patterns the other day at a fabric shop.
Somebody still makes clothes?
Not too many people, but some people.
Andrea made clothes for us,
She
for
wove
the
out of
boys and me,
She-
like vest and
Yeah.
things.
She wove them out of grass and dirt and leaves.
Yeah,
She Earth Mother.
yeah, she was an Earth Mother.
Okay, I see.
Okay, who are these
Okay.
girls? Might need some help.
I don't have any names on them.
I don't know. They don't have glasses on.
There's the dance. There's Gene Murray on the left.
Bucko,
Oh, was that Bucko?
yeah.
They both had flat tops. It looked like they were ready to beat you up. Is that Harry Forster? That's not Harry Forster, is it?
John Bozarth. That's WA right there.
Is that Rose Forster? That's Harry and Rose talking to Bucko.
Possibly. But that is, no, she would have moved by then. Nancy left her
Was she
senior
gone?
Yeah,
year.
she was
Senior
done
year?
her senior year.
Yeah.
They could have come back for the dance.
Gary Graham back there leaning up against the wall.
Mhm. That's
See,
Fred Fair.
Fred Fair.
You just hit me.
Got a hitch in the nose. There they go. There's the Armstrong girl on the right, one of the nun twins, Weatherford, the other nun. I never could tell Ann and Nell apart.
Mm-mm.
Who are the last two?
Well, Smith is on the
Oh, that's
left.
right.
Holly,
Oh,
maybe, or Paula.
Paula, Paula
Paula.
Smith. Who's the one in from Paula?
I don't know. Huh.
And there's Jane Kellogg, Jane Miller. And
I don't know who the
Tom
fellow
Powell,
is.
is that Tom Powell?
Well, at first I thought it was Tom Powell, but I don't know. I don't think so. Now I look at it.
There's Jane Miller on the right and Linda Brown on the left.
Closer look.
And there again, Jane and Linda. You don't think that's Linda Brown?
Oh, I think it is.
Okay, Bill has voted yes, that's Linda Brown.
That's it.
That's Big Dave.
Big Dave.
Big
Good
Dave.
pictures. We had a lot of fun with that, David.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought you might know a few of those.
Now you're in the sweet spot.
That was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
We were lucky and didn't even know it, did we? We just assumed. Of course, the Vietnam War was starting to heat up. A lot of you guys were looking at rice paddies in Nam.
A lot of those guys in the pictures were there.
Beatty, yeah, a bunch of them. I think we had in my class out of 40 some,
About 20 of them, didn't you?
I think out of 50 guys, 40 of us were in the military and about 20 went to Nam.
Now, there was a lot of good old boys not in those pictures for one reason or the other. They might have been uptown.
Who's
The
that?
Jakes.
Oh,
Some of the guys would have been up there.
Chuck Durnell was in your
Kelly,
class?
Durnell.
Was Chuck Durnell in your class?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys.
If Chuck would have played football, he would have been All-American. He would hit a guy. We talked him into playing. My senior year, I think we talked Chuck into playing. Say, Chuck, you're the strongest guy in the 55 counties. And he came out for a week. And I talked Jimmy Gould into playing too.
Oh, man.
But Chuck was a tackle, and I tried to block him, and he forearm shivered me and just about killed me. About cracked my
The
helmet.
problem was
Well-
whenever you hit them, they thought you were
Well, Jimmy
wanting to
Gould.
fight.
I got Jimmy Gould to play football because he's tough as nuts. And Jimmy, they had a thing called it was an iron thing.
The Smitty blaster.
You had to, it was an iron cage, and
Oh,
one
that. Oh, God, yes. I was
one
in
guy
that.
held a dummy on the far side, and you ran under real low, and then
Yeah.
he would ram you back into the dummy. So Jimmy Gould got in there, and he ran through, and somebody like Rick Beatty or somebody started jamming and beating on him. Jimmy jumped up, ripped their helmet off, and slugged him. So you're right, they didn't understand football. Football is controlled fury. It's not rumble time with Atwood, And Jimmy just hauled up, got mad, and just started beating on him.
Yeah.
He said, "No, Jimmy." No. So-
We can't do that.
but some of the toughest guys never went out for football. Yeah, Roger Kelly was he was a tunnel rat in Nam.
Mhm.
Chuck, who else would have been down the pool hall instead of the homecoming?
Conars.
Howard?
Howard and Donnie would have been, Donnie Conar was a tough kid.
Yeah, Donnie was.
Yeah. Always watch the silent ones. The silent ones are the ones
Donnie,
that'll get
Donnie
you.
would kind of give a look at you.
Yeah.
Howard was a nice guy.
Howard was a good guy. Howard to give you a history lesson.
Yeah, Howard. If there was a fight, he would sit there and document it for the future. He'd write.
These pictures, Howard was already in the Army.
You're right.
He dropped out of school and went to the Army.
You're right.
He wasn't going to mess around.
Yeah.
Those brought back a lot of memories, a lot of friends of ours and classmates, and unfortunately, sadly, several are gone.
Yeah, my class has lost about 30 out of 100. The other thing the Vietnam War did, besides a lot of us guys having to go early and had to go into service or go to Nam, was almost everybody wanted to go to college. All guys wanted to go to college. If you had 50 guys in the class in 1965, 66, 49 went to college if they didn't go to service because that was an exemption.
Right.
So all of a sudden, we were scholars, and some of us became super moral, conscientious objectors. The war really changed behavior back then, 65, 66. The draft was a clarifying wake-up moment.
We went from Elvis's love songs to protest songs.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah.
We went from Elvis to Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And I don't know how in the world Bob Dylan got the Nobel Prize for literature. Lay, lady, lay. Lay upon my big breast. He's not a great writer. I would put your guy, John Prine, ahead of. Wouldn't you put John Prine right there with Dylan?
Well, and I think Dylan was quoted one time as saying that John Prine was his favorite songwriter.
Yeah. Well, the Bee Gees wrote tremendous songs. There's all kinds of great songwriters. Paul Anka wrote that "I Gotta Be Me" for Frank Sinatra. Paul Anka. You're so young and I'm so old. This, my darling, I've been told. Now, you know, he doesn't get any better than that.
I was going to say, what? We're going to get a solo here.
Oh, Donna.
That was Richie Valens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Del Shannon, Runaway
Yeah, Runaway.
Sue. Runaway Sue. That was my song. Runaway Jane.
Runaway, two of them from
Runaway.
you. I just don't understand how that happened. Bunning takes off running, and you're just standing there.
The game was, if we catch you, we get to kiss you. I'm 3 feet away. I don't move. They both take off in the dark down the alley after bunnies.
Part of it's the thrill of the chase.
I never saw them again. I don't know what they did. That's a lot of kissing. Now, I had a gift, David. I had a gift, David.
So weird.
I could make you never want to go on a second date with me for $1 million. And Bill was the opposite.
I had trouble getting the first date.
Hey, David, you and I witnessed Bill being a chick magnet, right? We're at the
Oh yeah.
we're at the 50-year we're at a homecoming thing at the library. And I'm sitting there, I got about 5 guys around me hearing old war stories, and Bill's got about 8 women around him.
Yep.
Once again, they're chasing someone else.
Someone down the alley.
David looked over at me and said, "Look over at Ingo. They're all women."
I was even over there.
Yeah, even my wife chose Ingo. Well,
What did that tell you, Mike?
that's why you and I get along, David.
We're men. We're what they call a man's man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Mano. We got so much testosterone they don't want to get near us.
Yeah, that's it.
I gotta go get my garbage suit on. Well, David,
Classic. This was good.
are you gonna
Enjoyed
do anything
those.
special for the election for your paper? Your paper comes out the day of the election. You gonna delay it or anything? There's not really anything really super hot, but
No. We'll have to run the results the next week.
I was gonna say, there's nothing worth delaying your paper.
Nothing local.
David, I went up and voted at the courthouse the other day, and they told me the day before that they'd had 91 come in to vote,
Wow.
early voters.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just on that day.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think they've had a lot of early voting. I voted early. We voted before our vacation. We want to make sure if we got in a car wreck and got killed, we want to have our vote in.
That shouldn't count. That shouldn't count.
Well, we subscribe to the Chicago idea. You vote early and vote often.
You know, think about this early voting, David. I mean, everybody's worried about the surprise thing. And so President Biden comes out and calls the MAGA people garbage, which everybody's saying that's a game changer. Well, how can it be a game changer if everybody's already voted, right? How can it be a game changer? In fact, the day before the election, you could probably walk around nude and nobody would change their vote.
I don't think Biden's comment, which was in reference to the Madison Square Garden rally
Right.
where
The
Puerto
comedy.
Rico was referred to as floating garbage. I don't think it's going to move the needle at all.
Well, my point is, if half the people in America voted, it can't move the needle.
Well, all the Trump supporters, they're not going to change their mind, and all the Harris supporters not going to change their mind.
Mm-mm.
So
I think you're right. There's about 27 independents in the nation. Becky and I are 2 of them. We're still debating policy right now. Bill always talks about Slaughter and
yeah.
Richie
Rich
Lamb.
Lamb and Joe Slaughter would write in one another. as
Each other's name is president
Yeah.
every time. So if I knew how to spell Engelhardt, I'd write him in. Big long German name. I'm just gonna put Bull.
Yeah, that'll do.
Bull.
Yeah, that'll get it.
Record buyer of engagement rings in 2 years.
Would you quit it?
It might be too rough on you.
Yes, a
Yeah.
little bit.
I am.
Well, it was fun.
Hey,
It was fun once.
I was kind of there with you.
You didn't engage anybody.
Well,
What?
you didn't.
Well, the difference is Mike didn't almost marry them. He married them.
You know, I thought about giving the engagement ring the first date while I still had a date.
Okay.
Hey, those were good times, weren't they?
They were good times.
Bill and I would, I was working at Francis. I was going to Eastern, working at Francis DeWincey's gas station, drinking chocolate yoo-hoo, and Bill would pull up in his Mercury Cougar.
Checkmobile.
That used to be owned by the Couches.
Mhm.
And we'd sit there and just look at each other and goes, women.
The ruination of both of us
Yeah, just drug us down pretty
at
hard.
that time.
And then we drank some chocolate yoo-hoo and it got better.
It got better.
Those were good times. Other than the war
Mhm.
creeping up, it was about as good as it ever got.
All right. Anything else?
Bill,
No, it was fun today. I enjoyed it.
All right.
Really did.
Well, we'll see you next week on Remembering Tuscola.
you got a chance to bring it home.